Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Heal Your Mind, Heal the World podcast. My name is Anne Marie Morales. Today, I have with me the beautiful Rising Phoenix Aurora. She is an author, a spiritual revolutionist. She is the founder of the Rising Phoenix Mystery School, as well as a beautiful wellness center, and the founder of the Aura hypnosis method, which of course is very dear to my heart and is what attracted me to her work in the first place. Actually, quite a few years ago, one of the first people that I was looking into during my spiritual awakening. So without further ado, I welcome with a warm embrace the beautiful Rising Phoenix Aurora to Heal Your Mind, Heal the World podcast. Welcome.
Greetings. It is such an honor. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for having me on here with your podcast. And I see that you've been interviewing some people, and we're friends on Facebook, so your videos pop up for me every now and then. So such an honor to be here. You think lovely job in introducing me, and I'm just so thankful every day to be on Earth, accomplishing the mission and assisting the world. My goal for everyone who comes to me, whether it's a video, reading a book, or having a course in my mystery school, a session, just my goal is always to inspire them with source love light to help them raise in vibration and frequency. So my school teaches science and spirituality put together, really a quantum physics, quantum alchemy. So such an honor to be here with you. Thank you.
Well, the honor is all mine. And I tell you, it was really great to actually get to meet you in person. You came down to St. Pete with our mutual friend, Laura Eisenhower, and we got to spend a nice night down around St. Pete and the beach and the beautiful trees. And as I said, I have always been interested in, let's say, the entity release part of spirituality. As a matter of fact, this morning I just went and worked on a big piece of property and a house, and it was just, wow, it was quite intense. But, I really believe we're drawn to that kind of work. It's our mission. Like, to do that kind of entity release mission is really, it's a gift and a calling. And so could you kind of if you want to talk about that first, go ahead and talk about that first. I should have asked you about your background, but since that's come up and it's kind of present for me today, why don't we talk about that kind of work that you do?
Well, flow, yes. Entity removal, aura hypnosis, and raw Reiki, which I'm the founder of. And yes, I have a show with Laura Eisenhower, Cosmic Mother Rising show. Check that out. And we're on Rumble. And I know you interview her too, right? And with that, we talk a lot about dark entities, aliens, and it's something that I was aware of all my life, like always knowing that there was something beyond, just like everyone else watching like documentaries on ghosts and maybe not everyone else, but at least I thought that was really interesting. The supernatural, like, is this real, and that in the stages, I always consider myself like awake because I always knew I just wasn't like into reading spiritual books or in spiritual groups. I just knew that there was something there that I could not see. And so, when I started practicing hypnosis and then started developing aura hypnosis, the clients who came to me had attachments to them, and they would tell me, their higher selves would tell me, Aurora, she has, this attached, whether it's a demon, an earthbound entity, which is like a spirit entity, so many reasons why there would be an earthbound entity that's like, entities that were killed in trauma that are stuck in a loop. There's entities that are stuck in the land by the indigenous, bloodshed that happened there, the past wars, just all these different times are happening in their time space on the same land you're walking on, which is interesting because I teach quantum physics, and with that, it's like that land that you're at how much history and how much residual energy. And technically, if you're walking there, and say that this war happened in 1900 and you're walking there, I mean that is really happening, that war in 1900, and you're standing in the same exact spot that they are in their now time space, while you're in your time space, say in 2026. How is that energy being felt in your space? Which a lot of the divine masculine on earth, they tend to transmute a lot for us, protecting the energy. Sometimes they're unbalanced, they're agitated, they're aggravated, you don't understand why they're like that. It's because the truth is that their role is that they're always shielding. They're either shielding themselves, their loved ones, their family, their wives, their girlfriends, or they're also just really, if they don't have someone close like that, they're really just healing and shielding Mother Earth, Gaia. So taking on the role of being a shield is a lot of transmuting. So entity removal is about that. It's like shifting the energy, finding what dark energy is stuck there, whether it's energy that is from the past or in the now time space. And typically it's always the past. And how can you shift that into a higher state of oscillating vibration and frequency? How can you oscillate, basically vibrate the energy within the space so that it could shift higher? And the only way to do that is through love, and that's what we teach, is love. It's you can exercise them, you can rebuke them, you can, that's really the way that the religions does that, and the priest. So we don't do that. What the only way to end battles and constant warring is by shifting who's the oppressor, who's the violator, who's the parasitic entity, who you're trying to help to not attack and attach to other people and harm them, or try to poltergeist them and attach them. It's the only way is to help them see the love and remember that they are love and made from love. And then when they do that, they positive polarize it, which is what my books are about. Book 1 and book 2 are all about that, like these different entities that my clients brought to me, which I've had 740 past life regression sessions alone, and each one of them brought me like a new information, and like this is what's happening with me, this is what happened in this time space, it's bleeding through to this time space, and this is how it's affecting me. And so it's about removing what's artificial, and then so that the vessel could vibrate to the most organic crystalline blueprint that is originally there inside all that junk inside deeply in the DNA.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for explaining that to us. I recall, and I think I made a comment on this video. You were removing an entity, and the way that you spoke to it, you said, "We honor you and we respect you." And I come from Catholicism, and I was always involved in, like, I helped exorcists, but they usually did it the, violent way, fighting fire with fire kind of thing. And when I finally realized that there's no reason to do that, that the best way to remove an entity was to heal the entity.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't go and bother somebody else, and when I saw this one particular video that you had posted, it was so transformative for myself. And I said, this is a masterclass. I wrote it in the comments, and you had commented back, "Thank you so much," blah, blah, blah. And this is years ago. I mean, it could be 6 or 7 years ago that I did that. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I just want to, just thank you for that work that you do, because it's been very inspirational for me. And I've since become a professional hypnotherapist, and I do quantum regressions and do remove entities. So you are a part of that growth period for myself. So I just want to honor you for that.
Well, I honor you for allowing to be a matching vibration to understand
Yeah.
that, because not everyone understands that. Some people think that entities are not real, or they're
Oh,
still
yeah.
doing it the old program way. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
that tells you your heart and your mind is expansive to understand that there's all these different types of, not one thing is one way.
Oh, no.
many, many ways.
Yes, this is a very vast universe filled with a myriad forms of life and energy. And yeah, I love what you were saying about how, let's say, because I've been to Gettysburg. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's such a hotbed for paranormal activity. And yeah, the concept of time is popping into my head. Speaking of that, what can you tell us about how you have encountered time? And what does that mean to you? This is just something that came in for me. So,
I love that question. I
mhm.
love that. So connected to your higher self because we really have been talking about this in our videos on our channels, and then our courses. Because I also channel Albert Einstein and I channel Nikola Tesla. And it's this extra sensitive series that I have exclusive for my memberships. And it is quite complex. So basically, time is a spiral, it's a wave. Okay. Um, it keeps spiraling, spirals and spirals and spirals. I can show you images on it, but um, basically, I could pull it up. There's decimal points within each one of these times. So, like you who are a hypnosis, which this is pretty cool, that you're doing hypnosis. So this you should understand. So when you're looking at, sorry, I didn't have it prepared. So give me a second. Let me
No worries.
pull that up. Okay, I have it here.
And
Okay,
so, yeah, go ahead. Go
no,
ahead
you
and
go.
share. I have to allow you to
Oh
share.
yeah, yes, 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 sure.
That's it.
I just requested.
There we go. Away you go.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So when we're operating as hypnosis practitioners, what happens is that your client might be here at the center of this spiral, okay? But she's existing in all forms of spiral. Now,
Hmm.
these are just two other dots to show, but let's just visualize a bunch of dots. Each one of these dots represents a memory field, okay? Now, what happens is that you know how you hear the when your clients come, the stars have aligned. That's why they're here. They're here to shift, to really heal, and the stars really, literally need to align it. What I can speak at least for or a hypnosis, the higher souls are always saying that, right? Like the stars align for them. So they do align because what happens is say they're here but in another past life, maybe that exact date something's happened to them in a past life. It could be this last recent life, but it could be also a life that happened in the other never ending spiral that goes on and on. Okay, but this is what gets tricky. Okay, see this spiral is like a child's slinky toy. It could
Correct.
expand. You could expand it and expand it. And all those times and even the spirals in there could be, if you collapse it, it looks like they're all one spiral. So that's how time is existing. Each person is in within their own time space, within time space continuums, living their experience through their projected third eye, what they're creating in their environment. Now, what we're teaching, right, with the removal entities and the AI, and we talk about archons, the artificial intelligence, is that they densify you and attach things to you so that you're vibrating so low that you can't even reach these levels of consciousness. But the truth is that we all have this expansive brain that can time travel through the time traveling machine that we are, with all our different glands, the glands in your brain, the thalamus, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, medulla oblongata. All these are communicating and are projecting the vision of both the universe and what's happening within you. The way that you know that you're operating to your higher self, and then the best way to feel it is I constantly, like, because I host retreats and I travel the lands, right? So when I'm at these lands, I feel myself in this now time space, like me, the vessel, Aurora in this, say, human vessel, but then I'm also feeling myself at the exact time space, or no time, life space, as my higher self. Okay, so there's, say, two different versions happening. There's the me who is operating in this human self, but not human self, and then there's the higher self of me who's doing all these expansive things, and I'm directly always connecting to my higher self and everything that she is doing, while at the same time being a human. So there's two basically dialogues, you could say, or
Right.
even more sometimes, happening in the exact time space of both the human and the higher self form.
Yeah.
So,
I
like, for example, say I go to the forest. All right, I'm walking and I'm watching out for crazy people sometimes, or a car crossing the street, right? But at the same time, then I'm also working on the land, the tree that is maybe crying. She's got someone did something to her, burned her, or they do that sometimes in forests or something. Then I'm also, then that's my higher self, the quantum realm, and I'm assisting then. At the same time as I'm watching out for the third, fourth dimensional world, I'm also looking at the quantum realm that is all dimensions into one, and listening to all the messages from all the entire environment, especially the nature and everything that's organic. So entity removal, healing this, healing that. Wow. Do you understand? Yes, Dan.
Yeah, I do. I do understand that. That's a hefty order to fill, right?
It is.
For an incarnation. Oh, that's really exciting. So you have some new things going on. I'd love for you to talk about the mystery school. We often hear about the mystery schools having, like the Essenes or whatever what they did in ancient Egypt. So talk to us about your mystery school. How
Thank
did they
you.
come about, and what are you teaching now?
Thank you for this question. When you first do your sessions, I would get clients, and some of them were somnambulistic, which means that the majority of the humanity, like 95%, is very aware during hypnosis. It's like a guided meditation. But then there's this few percentage that is somnambulistic, which means that when they come to, they're deep in there, almost like they fell asleep, you can say, and they don't remember anything when they wake up. So I would get clients like this, and at the beginning, I can't remember the name of the aura hypnosis, but it's one of my first ones where Yashua comes and he explains, he's speaking to the client and he says, I was debating in that moment, do I teach this? Can I really entrust the sacredness that these courses are to others? And will they treat them with love, honor, and respect? And I had just made the decision that I was doing it, but it's still questioning it. Not so much that I was dying in it, but more like feeling if it was the right choice and if the world was ready to receive the modalities. And I was practicing it already, but the angels were saying, you got to teach it. So then what happens is that a client comes forth, and she is actually was located in Hawaii, and we do the hypnosis with love light, shielding, force fields, deep protection, boundaries, shielding that the higher self, in combination with the practitioner, puts over them, because otherwise there's so many parasitic entities that if you open up a person's field and you don't put these infinite protective love light shields on them, which is dangerous, parasites can jump in. That's another thing. So when I was placing this client in, and we did the shielding as usual, and clearing, we do like a type of Reiki right before to clear any dark energy. That way it's not in the way during the session. Then Yesha starts speaking to her, and she doesn't know anything of my mind, of what I'm deciding, what I'm thinking about. She just found me, on YouTube, and she said, and he starts speaking through her and says, Aurora, you have to share what we've given to you. You have to share it. And he said, it is their karma and their choice what they do with the teachings that you've been given to you. And that's how it began. that's how it began. Initially, being able to teach that, I had to have Yeshua come to me during the session. And when she comes to, she remembers nothing. So in that moment, she somnambulistic, remembers nothing. I realized that it was Yeshua talking clearly through her. She knew nothing of me, but knew everything that I was deciding on and pertaining to how I was going to assist the collective. Yeah. So Yeshua really began my journey there. And then from there, every that I've channeled has been 9 years, and I have 1,000. I think I have about 1,000 videos now, or if not, I'm near it. And so much content every week that we're delivering. And yes, I'm always one that does. I don't like to take credit, but every single client has given me knowledge, wisdom, and information because I held a space of love for them, and their higher self was able to just infinitely share with me because they were held in raw love frequency. So yeah.
Yeah. How fantastic. I love that. I've only had one client that went so deep that he didn't remember out of the clients that I've had. And that's really beautiful. Wow. I love that. You had mentioned to me a story about how Ra came to you. And I would love you to share that because, Ra is the Ra Collective. They are my guides. And they came to me about 5 years ago and switched with my original guides into them. So when I decided to leave education and move here to Florida is when they switched over. But I'd love to hear this story because it's really amazing. It's a beautiful story.
Isn't it beautiful how we make decisions like that? Like Anne-Marie, you chose to switch over. It's like when you make a most organic decision for you like that, how because you were still stuck in that decision back then, you weren't a matching vibration to say receive the information from the raw. And the minute you make that higher density, higher choice, there here comes raw to give the message.
Mm-hmm.
That's how those choices that we have constantly in front of us. It's like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? They're giving us like points of path changes. Can we make the most highest vibrational love light choice to raise higher? And then when we do that, then wisdom comes forth like the raw. But the raw basically, I was just like a mother with my children. They were younger then. That was 9 years ago. So now they're older, and I was just just being just a mother and a wife. And one day I ran into Dolores Cannon, as most of us, have. And wow, that's when it all began. Fast pace, and has never stopped since then. And I just ran into her book. I read the book 1 month, and the next month, so that was that was December 2026. Was it? Yeah, December 2026. I ran into her 3 Ways to Volunteer ad, and I didn't want to click on it, but I heard a strong voice, and I know that that was her now, of course, saying click it. I click it, and that's when it all changed. I'm like, oh, that is who I am. I'm here to assist the world. This is why I'm so different. What's going on? Oh my God. Yeah, definitely, that's me. So then I put my husband into hypnosis because I was doing guided meditations because I had become already like Usui Reiki master, and I was doing meditations for children, volunteering in schools. So then one day my husband was off of work and I was too, and I was like, I just ran into this book last month. I think I could totally do this, And then he said yes. And he laid on the couch, and I began to guide him through a meditation, a past life regression, just like, Dolores said in her books. And when I did that, that is when I met the Raw. that's who came forth. Such an honor again, because not only did Ra speak through him, Ra spoke through him first, and then after Ra, then Dolores spoke through him. Ra said, "We have someone near and dear who wants to speak to you." And I was like, okay. Keep in mind, I'd never looked into any of this. I never even read a book on, most people, they read books on spirituality, never. So, and I just knew online that Ra, like whoever Ra was introducing me to Dolores, right? The Ra was like some kind of god from Egypt, whatever the internet said. So I was, and their energy was so intense, like it was vibrating my whole being. Like I was shaking to every cell, down to the mitochondria that powers up the cells. Like I was vibrating my whole vessel. Their energy is so benevolent and powerful. It's so beautiful. But I knew what they were doing then. They were basically acclimating and like activating my body. And then from there, then they say, someone near and dear wants to speak to you, and then it's Dolores. And then that's what began my journey, to where I'm at now. And then Ra has always been there. Ra's just the sun, the collective of the sun that's always speaking to us. Right now, the sun is hitting my skin over here by the window. I mean, she powers up and gives us life force to every plant. We are as beautiful as a plant who needs sun and water. And that's just the name of the sun and the collective of the God crystal we are inside of, because we are inside a God crystal. Because I work with children. And that's what one of the children told me, is that we are inside a God crystal, all of us. So in our perspective, depending on what vibration you're oscillating to, some people are vibrating to like a denser type of energy. Maybe they're egoic, selfish, hateful. Then they're vibrating to an artificial intelligence simulation like the Matrix movie. But if you're vibrating to a higher state of being of love, unconditional love, compassion, just compassionate love, gratitude, then what happens is that you vibrate then to the God crystalline blueprint that Earth is. So that's what we do. We've been all our videos teaching people how to be our purest selfless self, so that we could vibrate to Divine Mother's pure selfless love,
Right.
Of Gaia, Earth, Terra.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. Yes. How did your husband feel after that very first session? Did he recall? Did he, because I know how beautiful that you have a partner, that you have a husband that is, connecting with your mission. That's a beautiful thing. That's very rare, I think. And what was his reaction to that?
Well, I forgot to mention that he wakes up, right? Thank you for asking that. And he says, "I'm so sorry that I fall asleep." So he was somnambulistic.
Wow.
He remembers nothing. And before that session, actually, he was asleep. He was asleep. And that woke him up.
Wow. That
Began
is
his journey of waking up.
beautiful. That is really beautiful. Go ahead.
And both of us, our journey. Yeah, both of our journey just really woke us both up to, wow, there's more than, finally we understand there's more. And that's what being in hypnosis and the theta brainwave does to people. It's like it brings in a higher state of light, love light, that it can wake you up, heal you. I don't know if you've watched or read any of my books, and Marie, but like, my goodness, people, right? They can heal from anything. Right. Like I had a lady heal from legally being blind in 1 week. Wow. Through just a raw Reiki. She didn't even go to hypnosis. She just did a raw Reiki with me 1 week. People healing from the last stage of cancer, they heal. We discover cancer is just an entity. It's a demon. That's what it is. I mean, if you ever look at cancer tumor, under a microscope, it literally looks like a parasite like ball with like
Yeah,
tentacles. It's
that's
a
what they
it's
say.
an entity. It's a, yeah.
Well, it corresponds to as above, so below. I mean, if it's a parasite within the body, then it's
Mhm.
attached to a parasitic entity in the other realms. And
Exactly.
so it makes perfect sense. And I believe that 100%. Oh, I
Yeah.
love hearing about this. This is just so beautiful. Are there any other like
Um,
sessions that you've had that have really made your jaw drop or, again, like a profound healing? What else can you share with us about these sessions that you've had?
I think my favorite part is like there's so many, but my favorite part is being able to watch the client when they come, at the beginning they're nervous, they don't believe in themselves, they're in doubt, and they most often do not believe that they can heal themselves. But it's because of the programming within societal programming, religion, culture, family that has schooling that has completely dropped and digressed, densified their belief in knowing that they're actually their own self healer and their own savior. So, my favorite part, especially when I host retreats and I see them in workshops, is like watching them, like, and in their session, right? They begin like this, and then they wake and they go through the process of the hypnosis, aura hypnosis, right? They go through it, and then they come to just like that. They are different. The minute they come to, they are in their power. Now, everyone's different. Some people might need some work at it to help release the doubt and the worry. But the minute that they're done, the universe begins to react with them, showing them. They've always been reacting. It's just that the person was too dense to notice it. But they start showing them this synchronicity, and they're like, "Oh my God, I got this. Oh yes, oh that's how it works." And it's just like so beautiful. So then I love seeing people like transform from not believing in themselves to then believing in themselves. My whole goal is to help people step in their power, and everything I do is to save the children of Earth. And I know that the only way that I could save the children of Earth, well, not the only way, but one of the only main ways is to reach the parents. If I could reach the adults and the parents, and and whatever way that that I could reach them, a book, video, so on. Of course, I know that I have assisted them because what I deliver to them was in raw love. And I know that in whatever way that they take it, it's going to assist them because everything is a mandala. Everything is a magnetic field that is constantly emitting out all the energy. So whatever it is, even it's just as the smallest thing creates a ripple in time-space continuance that shifts and mandalas in a higher state of life, a higher state of light, love, light, being every day. And you do that and you do that and you continue to rise the spiral. One of my first like guided meditations, I channel Yeshua, which actually I'm going to channel him tomorrow under my Rumble live video. Yeshua's 133 years missing, which is basically Yeshua just walked the earth, which I could go into if you want to. But in my first guided meditation was a spiral, and he was guiding people how to go up the spiral. And now I understand that everything works as a spiral: time, space, life, your Fibonacci symbol, spiral, a baby creates in a spiral, life form, plants, everything is a spiral. So
Uh,
really, watching these epiphanies in people when they come to me and be like, oh my God, I knew that. Or I knew that. Like, oh my God, but now I really know it and I really get it why I knew it, knowing and discovering that they already knew all this. They just needed someone to help them shift higher just by holding love for them. That's it. Just hold love,
right.
unconditional love for people.
Yeah.
And belief. That's the biggest thing about is that belief. I believe that anyone can heal from anything because I've seen it over and over, right?
Yeah.
Blind people, cancer, every illness, autoimmunes, celiac disease, epilepsy. I had a young man. I did a surrogate session for a mother who was doing a surrogate for her daughter, who was having seizures. She was having seizures every day, and she wouldn't just have one, Anne Marie. She would have like 10, sometimes 30 a day, she would say. Horrible. And now, if you know what a seizure is like, those are no joke. Like, what happens, it's just horrible. I mean, they could die, at any one of those seizures. I can't even imagine that many seizures. So he watched a session of a mother healing her child, going into surrogate. Her child had so many seizures, there's no way she was going to be able to go to college. She was about to finish high school and could potentially, and her mother was a professor and for a university, and she was about to go to college, but probably definitely not a college, a university, because she had too many seizures. Who was going to take care of her? Who's going to watch over her? That she was going to be alive. So her mother goes in, finds the parasite. It's a parasite inside the brain that's messing with the neurons, that's causing the epilepsy, making the soul jump out of the body. That's what epilepsy is. Your soul jumps out of the body. Then the soul's not in the body. It's still always connected, but it's not in the body, and that's why it's going through like this, like seizure, like shaking, because it's not in there. The soul's not in there. So she goes through, gets rid of all of the parasites in her daughter's brain, and then I talked to her maybe a month or two later. Basically, time for a child to go to college, and guess what? Her daughter is seizure free, and she's going to college, not just a regular college. She's staying in dorm at a college, completely healed from seizures, from epilepsy. Then get this young man who has had seizures and has epilepsy watches that video on my channel and does what the mother did. Like, he does it quantumly for himself, knows what it is. He works with his angels. Eventually he does become Aura hypnosis certified and learns how to do it, but that's years later when he does it. But initially, years back, the reason why he became certified is because he watched that video. Guess what? Seizure free, because he knew what the epilepsy was. No more seizures for him too.
That is absolutely incredible. That's so wonderful. I've had another hypnotherapist on here who talks about surrogacy. And the key to surrogacy is that the person being the surrogate has to have some sort of love connection with
Yeah.
whomever they're working on. I don't want to go off into another story about surrogacy, but I just want to bring back what an extraordinary modality and what a healing tool that your system is.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank
I
you to
love
all
it.
the beautiful clients and their higher selves who taught
Right.
us step by step how to do it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely incredible. I love that. Um, Wonderful. Now, just before we kind of wrap up,
Mhm.
tell me, what is a spiritual revolutionist? I've never heard that before.
Spiritual revolutionist. That's something that I learned. I think my very first video, I don't know if you watched that one, Red versus Blue, I did with Laura Eisenhower on her channel.
Hmm.
And it was right at that moment, Red versus Blue timeline wars. And people were so confused. There was a COVID vaccine. People were, well, wait, am I allowed to say this right now?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't care.
Okay. So that was happening, and people didn't understand what was happening with this pandemic. And right around that time, when I was assisting people to see the truth of what really the jab was, and these immunizations, which are basically nano and AI and all these attachments inside those things, shots, and I just heard that from the angels. They said spiritual revolutionist. A spiritual revolutionist means that you're revolutionizing of what is the norm. You're changing and shifting what is been the path that everyone has monotonously going by, So you're revolutionizing, you're shaking it up, and not just with, revolution, but spirituality. You're shaking up and vibrating a different perspective in people. Like, can you assist them to question things further, to look at things in different perspectives, like a kaleidoscope with many different spectrums? Can you help them open up their heart so much that they learn how to love, you, by you being that example? Because magnetically, through quantum physics, it's a quantum vibration that is reflecting back and forth, just back and forth, rippling back and forth. So you, by you being that version, shifts people to be that version for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about, yeah, changing the program and standing in your power, your fierceness, your fire, your love, your passion, what you love the most, and then being that raw love.
I love it. Thank you so much. Is there anything happening that people can sign up for? Do you have any retreats coming up? And where can people find all your information?
Yes. Well, I now have my Rising Phoenix Mystery School, which opened up at the beginning of this year. Yay! Wellness Center. So people can come here in person for sessions. So thank you so much for allowing for me to say that. And also my retreats that happen about every 4 months. The retreats here at the Wellness Center, you get certified through Aura, hypnosis, raw Reiki, and I have courses constantly. I have a mystery school, which means that we have courses going on every week. You can follow me on my social medias where I post all the time, like this is what we got going on. Most often the courses are happening every Sunday. And then every Friday I am live under Rumble. And yeah, you can find me everywhere in all the channels.
Awesome. And where
Definitely.
is your school located? Where are you?
In Chicago,
In
and the
Chicago.
greater land of Chicago. Yes,
Awesome.
yes, yes. In a beautiful area where there's lots of forest and lots of trees, and everything's so important on earth, including the trees. They're pillars of light that help you hold the space of love. Your animal companions are so important. They hold the purest of raw love for you every day, looking at you with so much love, the unconditional love. All these different beings it's set up in your world are so important that help you also be this for yourself. And I think overall what I could say is that we're often like helping everyone else and we're treating others more kind than how we treat ourselves. So I challenge everyone who's listening. If you saw someone in distress or stressed out or anxiety, you probably do your best to help them out, right? You sit there, you talk to them, you would help them shift, hopefully, out of what they're feeling, whether it's a psychic attack, energetic attack. Stress is really just a lot of dark energy or anxiety that people are processing. So, if you saw someone like that, you would stop, right, and talk to them. I'm sure you wouldn't ignore them. Those are usually the NPCs, the non-player characters that are part of the AI simulation. They go about their business ignoring you. So if you would do that for someone and you would like unconditionally hold the space and talk to someone. So the question is, why don't you do that for yourself? Why often I hear people are self-sabotage themselves, pity, all this like lower density ways of how you disempower yourself all day long, and you are just lowering yourself. You're doing the job for the dark entities. So let's not do that. Live every day instead of talking to yourself with love, just like you would with someone who needed help. You do that for yourself. And every day you do that, you treat yourself with love, you're going to see and feel the shift in your heart and how it's going to grow and expand. You're going to show the love, and you're going to see the love and compassion in everything that you're doing. And then it's just going to become so much easier to be on earth. Every day won't be a perfect day, but it would be perfectly imperfect for you. And what will matter most is that you will go to sleep every day and you're like, how did I do today? Was I my best self? Did I do my best in every which way? My thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, my actions, my decisions. And if I didn't, journaling, right, is like really important for a lot of people. Like, I don't journal, but I journal in my head, but like writing down, like, this is what I did today. This is what I feel I could have done better. Being honest with yourself, letting go of ego and pride, even within yourself, and being honest with what you feel you could do better. And then the next day, looking at your journal and like, okay, I did this. Today I'm not gonna do this because it didn't make me feel so good. And today I'm gonna do it different. And when you go to bed, after you shower and you cleanse, and I burn a little fire before, just like a little matchstick, just like to feel the fire of source love light. And then I meditate. And in that moment when you're meditating, right before you go to bed, you ask yourself, like, how was I today? Did I do good? Was I my best self? And again, whatever you feel needs to change and shift into a higher state of energy, do it. Do it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Your guides, your angels believe in you. Anne Marie believes in you. We all believe in you. And just live every day to your fullest version of you, that you can go to sleep and be like, I love myself. I am amazing. I'm a bad A. I'm incredible. I'm powerful.
Thank you so much for that beautiful, empowering message, Aurora. You are such a light and a gift to this world, this planet, and I'm just so honored to have you on here. So, what is your website again? Rising Phoenix Aurora?
Rising Phoenix Aurora, yes. Rising Phoenix Aurora.com. My mystery school is that where we teach our courses and where you could also find practitioners from all over the world as well.
That's amazing. All right. Thank you so very much for being with me. Thank you, everyone, for hanging around and sticking around to the very end. Again, this is Anne Marie Morales, and you can find my offerings at ammhypnotherapy.com. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.